Packing up camp this morning downstream from Swan Hill. I'm heading towards Mildura on the third leg of my journey. I reckon it'll take me about 2 weeks to get there. Just downstream from Swan Hill, and this is the paddle steam of Challenger. Really new looking boat. Well, I don't know if officially you call them a boat or a ship, I'm not sure what they're called. Very beautiful though. I don't know if you guys can hear or see that, but it's very windy today. Gusts are supposed to be up to 45 km an hour. It makes it quite hard getting straight into it. I'm in for a long day by the look of it. Just going under the bridge at Naya, and I'm got a headwind, just about blew the paddle out of my hand then. This wind is pretty strong, so I'm not sure how much further I'm going to go today. It's getting a little bit hairy. A few times I've been caught side onto the wind and it's sort of nearly tipped me. So it sort of calms down and then it comes up in really strong gusts. Anyway, we're just under the bridge near, just upstream from Naya, so I might stop at Naya and have some lunch and figure out what I'm going to do. Well, here we are at Naya, and I'm just looking for a place to get ahead of the kayak, but there's only high banks here at the moment, so I'm not sure if I'll even stop here. It's disappointing, and the wind's still howling. So I might do, I've done about 30k, so I might do another 10 if I can, and then I'm going to camp it up for the day. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're just approaching Turleybuck and someone's got a cannon overlooking the river. Might be a bit hostile here. Well, here we are at the bridge across the Murray at the little town of Turleybuck in New South Wales. I've only been going for about an hour, so I'm not going to stop here. I've got a bit of a mission to try and get to Euston Weir in about 4 days, so I can meet up with my sister and my mum and have some lunch. So I'm going to try and get a few Ks in the next few days to try and get down there by Wednesday. I just wanted to show you guys the flood line on the trees as I'm going through this area near Wakefield Junction, where that dark bark stops and the lighter bark starts. That's where the river came up to. Probably 6 metres above the height of the river that I'm in now, and well above the height of the bank, so it just gives you some idea of the amount of water that came down in the flood. Just going past what is called Wakefield Junction, and it's the confluence or junction of the Wakefield River and the Murray River. I think the next river to run into the Murray that I'll come across will be the Murrumbidgee in a couple of days, or maybe 3 days. There's a flight of swallows just in front of my camp getting a drink on the wing. We're now passing the confluence of a major river coming into the Murray. The major river would be the Murrumbidgee River, one of Australia's largest rivers. It's an awful lot tamer now than it would have been a month or two ago when both rivers were in full flood. Anyway, I'm not venturing up there. I'm heading further down the Murray, and hopefully in a couple of days I'll meet up with my sister and my mum at Euston. Going under the bridge at Robinvale. It's about 12:30, and hopefully in about 15 minutes I'll be at Euston, so I'll book this some accommodation there tonight. It'll be great. Apologise for not paddling while I'm taking these videos at the moment because I broke my selfie stick about 2 weeks ago. I'm heading to Lock 15, Euston Lock, or Euston Weir, but I've been informed by the staff at the Euston pub that the lock is not operational, so apparently the lockmaster there will help me get around the lock, but we'll see what happens when I get there. Well, I'm a couple of hours downstream now from the Euston Weir, where I had to portage around this morning, and thanks to Daniel and Phil, the two of the lockmasters there, they got me around reasonably comfortably, although there's a lot of muddy banks around at the moment. Euston Lock is not operational at the moment. They're missing a few parts that were damaged during the flood. And they've told me that a lot of the locks, particularly past Mildura, and even at Mildura, aren't operational at the moment, so that's going to be another problem I need to deal with. But I'll wait till I get to Mildura and see what I'm going to do about that. I'll probably have to make a few inquiries as to which locks are operational and which aren't. The problem with the locks in South Australia is that there's a 250 metre exclusion zone. So if you're going to portage around a lock in South Australia, you're going to have to get out at least 250 metres upstream and hope that the banks are suitable for doing that. and that the actual terrain between where you extract your kayak and where you get back in is going to allow me to actually portage around those locks. So one of the attractions of this trip, one of the things I was really looking forward to, was going through the numerous locks, particularly between Mildura and the Murray mouth. About 11 of them, counting the one at Mildura. And if I'm going to have to portage, drag this bloody big kayak around most of them, it's not going to be that enjoyable. So I've got a bit of time up my sleeve anyway, so if I need to wait at Mildura until they open up, I'll do that. Certainly not looking forward to having to drag this kayak and all this gear around those locks. But anyway, we'll worry about that when we get to Mildura and formulate a cunning plan to hopefully carry on without having to wait too long. Past a hull of an old paddle steamer. Thought they might be trying to rejuvenate it. Been fairly well inundated when the flood came through by the look of it. Looks like Noah's Ark. Just going along the river at Iraq. Ironically, that's where I did a bit of training prior to this trip. Punching into a headwind at the moment. So for everyone who thinks there's a lot of current and it's all really easy, it's not when you're in a headwind. The current's not too bad, but it's not always there either. So very dependent on the width of the river and the depth of the river. And as I approach Mildura, it'll be less and less. The weir has been put back in there and is filling up. But overall, it's a beautiful day today. I don't think the temperature's got much above 30, but compared to yesterday, it's like heaven. Just passing the paddle steamer Settler, parked up at Nichols Point with some houseboats. The houseboats haven't had much joy lately. The flood prevented them from operating, and then as the river went down with the weir out, the river was way too low for houseboats to operate. Thankfully now, with the Mildura weir pool back to its normal level, all sorts of river activities are happening again. Baby cormorants nesting. The mother was there a second ago, but she dived into the water as I approached. Just passing the paddle steamer Mildura, parked up behind the paddle steamer Melbourne, and behind the Mildura, paddle steamer Rothbury. A lot of paddle steamers around Mildura. Probably second only to Echuca. Well, here we are going under the bridge at Mildura. I've been looking forward to this for over a month. Mildura is one of the largest cities on the Murray River, but it's also the place I was born. It's also where a lot of my relatives live, and it's where I'm going to have some rest and relaxation and a little bit of maintenance on the kayak, some of my gear and me. Anyway, good to be home, so to speak. Just got to find somewhere to land this thing. My sister Kathy was there to meet me at the Mildura Rowing Club. We loaded my kayak and all my gear and we headed out to my mother's place at Iraq. I made a few inquiries and found out, unfortunately, all the locks between Mildura and the Murray Mouth were off limits to human-powered craft. I waited for over 2.5 weeks and the situation didn't change. Without knowing how long the restrictions would be in place, I finally decided to head back to my home in Rockhampton, my family and my part-time teaching work. It is my intention to return to Mildura later in the year and continue my journey to the Southern Ocean.